Hello and welcome. Welcome to day 12 of reading Acts in January. I am Pastor Rick Williams, and we're here at Zion Lutheran Church in Ashland, Wisconsin. And I said today we are reading chapter 12 in Acts. We went through chapter 11 yesterday. In chapter 11, we saw Peter explaining to the apostles in Jerusalem how God had shown him through a vision that salvation through Christ was open to the Gentiles as well. It wasn't just intended for the Jews. And he relayed the vision to them, and how the population of non-Jewish Christians was growing. We saw how it was taking off in Antioch with the Hellenists, and how they sent Barnabas to help out there because it was growing by leaps and bounds, and they needed some more disciples down there. And then we saw how Barnabas went to Tarsus to find Saul, so that Saul could come help in dealing with the Gentiles. And now today we begin with chapter 12, and the title for the opening section is James Killed and Jesus Imprisoned. About that time, Herod the king laid violent hands on some who belonged to the church. He killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. And when he saw that it pleased the Jews, he proceeded to arrest Peter also. This was during the days of unleavened bread. And when he had seized him, he put him in prison, delivering him over to 4 squads of soldiers to guard him, intending after the Passover to bring him out to the people. So Peter was kept in prison, but earnest prayer for him was made by God by the church. Now, when Herod was about to bring him out, on that very night, Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers bound with chains, and sentries before the door were guarding the prison. And behold, an angel of the Lord stood next to him, and light shone in the cell. He struck Peter on the side and woke him, saying, "Get up quickly!" And the chains fell off his hands. And the angel said to him, "Dress yourself and put on your sandals." And he did so. And he said to him, "Wrap your cloak around you and follow me." And he went out and followed him. He did not know what was being done by the angel was real, but thought he was seeing a vision. When they had passed the first and the second guard, they came to the iron gate leading into the city. It opened for them of its own accord. Then they went out and went along one street, and immediately the angel left him. When Peter came to himself, he said, "Now I am sure that the Lord has sent his angel and rescued me from the hand of Herod and from all the Jewish people were expecting." When he realized this, he went to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose name was Mark, where many were gathered together and were praying. And when he knocked on the door of the gateway, a servant girl named Rhoda came to answer. Recognizing Peter's voice, in her joy, she did not open the gate, but ran in and reported that Peter was standing at the gate. They said to her, "You're out of your mind." But she kept insisting that it was so. And they kept saying, "It is his angel." But Peter continued knocking, and when they opened, they saw him and were amazed. But motioning to them with his hands to be silent, he described to them how the Lord had brought him out of his prison. And he said, "Tell these things to James and to the brothers." Then he departed and went to another place. Now, when day came, there was no little disturbance amongst the soldiers over what had become of Peter. And after Herod searched for him and did not find him, he examined the sentries and ordered that they should be put to death. Then he went down from Judea to Caesarea and spent time there. Now Herod was angry with the people of Tyre and Sidon, and they came to him with one accord. And having persuaded Blastus, the king's chamberlain, they asked for peace, because their country depended on the king's country for food. On an appointed day, Herod put on his royal robes, took his seat upon the throne, and delivered an oration to them. And the people were shouting, "The voice of God, and not a man." Immediately, an angel of the Lord struck him down, because he did not give God the glory, and he was eaten by worms and breathed his last. But the word of God increased and multiplied, and Barnabas and Saul returned from Jerusalem when they had completed their service, bringing with them John, whose other name was Mark. So there, how's that for an interesting read? That's chapter 12. We see James, the brother of John. That's the same James that was with Peter and John at Transfiguration. Was included in a lot of the special things. Was in Jesus' inner circle. James is killed by the sword by Herod. And it says it was at the time of unleavened bread. So there was a Jewish feast going on. So there must have been some animosity towards the Christians at that time. And so Herod killed James, and he was pleased with the response that he got. So he picked up Peter and threw him in prison. My guess is with the intention, it sounds like, to kill Peter as well. But then the angel of the Lord had other ideas, and he helped Peter out of prison. I thought it was interesting how Peter gets to the door of Mary's house, and he's knocking on the door, and the girl recognizes him but doesn't let him in and runs to tell the others he's out there. They won't believe him. He's out there pounding on the door, and they're having a discussion about whether it was him or his angel. And finally they let him in, and he tells them to be quiet. But so he hides out, and then Herod leaves the area, goes back to Caesarea, and once again he blasphemes God, and this time he pays the ultimate price. And now we see Barnabas, and we see Saul, and we see John, whose other name was Mark. We see him, they're heading out now to preach to the Gentiles. And we'll pick up there tomorrow on chapter 13. So I hope you found this interesting. Like I said, once again, kind of a short chapter today. While there's a lot going on, there's not it's pretty self-explanatory what went on there. So if you have any questions, as always, let me know. Give me a call. I would be more than happy to, talk to you about it. Also, a reminder, if you got any ideas for what book we should read next, let me know. So anyway, with that being said, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Please join me for chapter 13. As always, be happy, be healthy, be safe, be kind, be faithful. Yeah, watch out for each other. Take care. Watch out for the world. And until we meet again, which hopefully is real soon, God bless and have a wonderful day.